So what's going on, guys? This is the second video. I would assume that if you're here, you want to kind of like get out of your comfort zone, you want to experience life in a different way. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So expanding your comfort zone. I just put down a really good quote that, in my opinion, a lot of people actually miss out on. So we have two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. And that's because I feel like a lot of people nowadays live with no urgency in life. They take everything, in a very casual manner. They waste a lot of time on social media, on like meaningless stuff, and they end up like not actually living a fulfilling life. The agenda for today, guys. So plan your escape from mediocrity, what's on the other side of comfort, and how to get out of your comfort zone. Plan your escape from mediocrity. So how would you define your comfort zone? So comfort zone is a psychological state in which you feel familiar, at ease, and secure, right? So that could be, imagine the first time that you went riding the bike. It was very uncomfortable for you didn't know how to do it, but you still did it. And probably now if you go ride the bike, it comes like second nature, right? There is no thinking. Is the same thing as you driving your car or doing like daily tasks. You don't really have to think about them. So when you're in your comfort zone, you tend to be familiar with your state of mind due to the degree of predictability. And that's, again, imagine you're going to work and you always take the same road, right? There is no guesswork. You know exactly which road to take. You know exactly how to get to work, and there is that degree of predictability. So if you were to, for example, take a different route, that will actually put your mind in a state of discomfort, because you don't know what's going to happen. It might be something along the way, etc. In this state of mind, you feel safe. However, it also means that you do not grow or experience new things. And that's also true. So obviously, if you do exactly the same thing, then you will never actually end up experiencing new things. So you will always end up repeating the same day over and over again and not expose yourself to anything that's kind of new. So this graph, in my opinion, really explains how the comfort zone works. So there is like different levels of comfort zone. So you have like the most comfortable area in your life. That could be like your personal space. That could be your daily activities. You know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly how things are going to happen. There is that degree of predictability. And then there is fear, where you can be hurt by opinions, or you have like no confidence. This is an example. I literally had no confidence on YouTube. I hated putting myself out there. I didn't want to be on camera. I always kind of like hated my face. I don't know. I just didn't like it how it looked on camera, and probably a lot of people have this thing. But I was like, oh well, why would I not put myself out there and try to offer some value? Because I think there is going to be a lot of people taking value from this. At least they could relate to what I went through as well. Then there is learning, so dealing with problems, getting new skills, expanding comfort. So this is where you're actually admitting to yourself, I don't know something. And just admitting to yourself that you don't know something, it's a very powerful state of mind, because then you can actually do something about it. Like that, you don't want to be that delusional person that thinks, oh, I know everything about everything, and that's it. Like that's your growth. It just ends with that. And then you have growth where you consistently set up new goals. You find your purpose, and your dreams become real, because you're actually taking consistent action on a daily basis in order for you to achieve your goals. Cool. So why you should get out of this zone? I know you probably have seen loads of videos on the internet, and if you land on this one, this is going to be slightly different. So we're going to take a completely different approach. But first of all, why you should get out of this zone. So being in your comfort zone is going to make you feel safe and secure, which means that you will never be pushed and exposed to the unknown. You're avoiding new experiences, which could lead to better opportunities in the future. And this can be more true. We've experienced this in our life. We experienced this with our business as well, with everything that we've really been doing. Obviously, it's very hard at the beginning. There is loads of, because it's not the common thing that you would do on a daily basis. So take, for example, going to the gym. Going to the gym, for me at the moment, it seems like second nature. It's very easy. I don't have to think twice about it. But when I first started, I felt a bit self-conscious. I felt like I didn't belong to that place. But if I had that mentality all the time, I would have never been, I would have never achieved what I have now, right? A great body, it's a place that for me really helped me grow physically and mentally as well. So I guess you just really need to put yourself out there and not really care about, other people's opinions, or at least, what other people are going to think of you if you just walk into the gym, or what even like what you're going to think about yourself, because sometimes we have this this conception of ourselves of, oh, I don't belong to this place, so I shouldn't be here. Well, that's just you telling that to yourself. It's not your real self, right? When staying in your comfort zone, you are reinforcing your limiting beliefs and self-doubt. Trying new things requires a certain level of risk-taking and confidence. So again, going back to the gym example, obviously if I would have never done that, I would have never gotten in better shape. I would have never gotten the confidence to do other things. When you start building confidence in certain areas, then everything will compound in other areas. So for example, for us, at the beginning, we didn't have that much confidence. We had a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, but we never had the confidence to go out there and actually try to help someone, right? Try to offer value to people, because we felt that, the imposter syndrome. So the moment that we actually had some wins, let's say, that's when our confidence grew a lot, and that's when we actually felt confident. Okay, we do have the results, we have done some cool shit, we want to actually offer this, we want to help people maybe go on a different trajectory as us. So don't limit your abilities. So sometimes we don't actually achieve our full potential simply because we don't go out of our comfort zone. So we might be able to do way more, we might be able to achieve way more, we might be able to be in a better relationship and actually live the dream, the dream life. But we never actually get there, simply because the comfort zone, like you being in your comfort zone, is capping you from achieving your full potential, right? So let me give you an example. Imagine if you have a car, right? And this car has the best engine ever, but the wheels and the tires, right? And the brakes as well, they're not actually made for this car. They're not made for the performance of the car. So although you have a very powerful engine, you never actually get to experience the speed at which the car can go. And that's simply because you don't have the right wheels, you don't have the right tires, you don't have the right brakes. So eventually hitting the top speed on that car will make the car break, right? The same thing happens to yourself. So you could be having the best physical abilities, the best mental abilities, but your actual output is very low, and that's simply because you don't step out of your comfort zone to, fully take advantage of all your abilities. Cool. So what's on the other side of the comfort zone? Each decision you take will get you to a different life outcome. So who you are today, it's basically the sum of all your decisions, right, throughout your life. Say, for example, you're in the UK or in the US or any other part of the world, right? You are in that place because of the decisions you took. So imagine, for example, actually you really want to live in the US, or I really want to live in the UK. So you will adjust your life, you will adjust the decisions that you make in life for you to get to that point. Going on a different example, I really want to go to university. Okay, I'm going to study this topic. I want to, do these exams so then I can go to that university. Same thing for a business. I want to make a lot of money, or like I want to start a business, so I need these skills for me to be able to start a business, right? And the same thing happens with everything in your life. So all the sum of all the decisions that you made in your life got you to where you are today, right? However, where you are today can take like different paths. So say, for example, in this slide, imagine at the top, this is like the poorest version of yourself, right? And at the bottom is like the richest version of yourself, or the best version of yourself. So any decision that you take from now onwards will kind of adjust the trajectory of your life. So you could be ending up, being the best version of yourself, multi-millionaire with a great relationship, a wife, kids, etc. Or the other version, which could be, you being a homeless person, no money, nothing, no relationship, etc. So obviously it would be a very drastic very big gap in between the two. However, every day you kind of take a decision that will get you in, it will get you a different outcome. So obviously comfort zone plays a big play in this. The more you can get out of your comfort zone, the more you can experience different things. Because imagine, for example, the best version of yourself requires you to gain new skills, requires you to maybe be good at like talking to girls, or maybe you being good in business, or you being able to do public speaking, or you being able to create videos, or like deliver value in a certain way. If you don't step up of your comfort zone, you'll never actually be able to achieve these things, and you'll never be able to achieve the best version of yourself, right? Cool. The other side is beautiful. So being outside your comfort zone will change your life, and you will start meeting and interacting with other outgoing people, and you will slowly realize that you are getting closer to your dreams, and don't let them scare you away. And we've actually seen this with our brand, we've seen this with the business, we've seen this with the video that you're literally watching. We got loads of engagement, we got loads of people loving this, and actually a lot of people told us that we should have done this earlier, simply because it's a different kind of way of delivering information. I think it's a valuable way. But if we would have never taken that leap of faith, we would never be able to get these messages. We'll never be able to interact with these people. So you'll finally start attracting the right romantic partner in your life, because you're not relying on them picking you anymore. New business opportunities will present in your life, and you'll feel more fulfilled than ever, because you finally overcome that fear zone that kept you hostage. I've actually experienced this in my life as well, especially the first part. I was not struggling, but I was never the guy that would approach a girl. I was more of a shy person. Like if I would see a girl on the streets, I would never go up to her and be like, hey, do you want to go for a coffee, or can I have your number, stuff like that. It was always more like, if I was in the same context or in the same environment with a girl, or at university, if I was in a group with a girl, then I would try to let her understand that I like her in a way, but I would never go full on out of my comfort zone to just put myself out there. So that was, that probably impacted a bit my life in a way, but things changed a lot recently, so that's on a good side, I guess. New business opportunities will present in your life. Couldn't agree more to this. I think the moment that we started the brand, the moment we started talking to more people, the moment that we stopped being shy about talking to people online, contacted them, the more we started getting in very high net worth individuals, started networking with really valuable people, right? How to get out of your comfort zone. Right, so external factors. It's important that you understand that being in your comfort zone is going to stop you from growing. However, a rapid exposure to uncomfortable situations can lead to anxiety and thought paralysis. External factors can get you out of your comfort zone. However, you have no control upon them. So this is basically saying that the moment that you kind of like expose yourself in a very uncomfortable situation that you're not really ready for, that's when you can actually have that fear that like, I really don't want to do this ever again, right? So you can actually shock your body or your brain in a way that you really don't want to get out of your comfort zone ever again, because that experience was like very traumatic for you. That could be you being laughed at in public because you really messed something up. That could be, I don't know, you being rejected in front of everyone by a girl, although it shouldn't really be the case, but it happens. It all depends on how susceptible you are to these things. But if I can give you an example, imagine if you want to take a cold shower, or if you want to expose yourself to cold therapy. If you go straight in at, I don't know, 10 minutes, considering that you've never done it before, obviously your body's going to go into a shock, right? So obviously if you go, for example, for a cold dip, and for the first time you just go straight in, 10 minutes, minus 10 degrees water, then obviously that's not going to be good for your body, that's not going to be good for your brain, and you might actually end up dying, right? Because you're not ready for that, you're not trained for that. However, if you do this consistently, if you, for example, take a cold shower first and then try to decrease the temperature even more, and then, just try cold water outside, and then after that you maybe add a bit of ice, and then you full on have the whole experience with 3 minutes, 4 minutes with ice and everything, and you kind of like get your mind ready, and obviously your body as well. Well, getting out of your comfort zone is pretty much the same thing. Obviously you have some degree of control over this, and that's why you can decide how to do things. You can decide that, I want to expose myself slowly. I don't want to do it straight away because I don't want to have this shock in my life, right? But the important thing is you understanding that if you don't expose yourself to these things at all, then nothing's ever going to change. And external factors can get you out of your comfort zone. However, you have no control upon them. Obviously, take the example of you're in school or you're in university or something, and you're trying to become good at public speaking. Regardless if you want it or not, if you are being picked by the professor, or you need to deliver a presentation, you will have to do it. Like, there is no way you can avoid that, right? Because your grade will depend on that, and you have really no option, right? So that's the case where you basically are forced by external factors to do something that you don't want to do, but you need to do it anyways, right? However, obviously you have no control upon them. So there is a way to do this, and we'll see it later, but it's important for you to understand that you can get off your comfort zone without your will, but you will never have any control upon that. Cool, external factors. So being in a social environment with your friends can feel comfortable. However, if you are left alone in the same environment, it can rapidly become uncomfortable. Once again, so this is another situation where you can get uncomfortable by external factors. So obviously, let's assume you're not a very sociable person. You don't really do well, in a social environment, but your friends leave you alone. Well, you have no other choice than interacting with other people, as unless you want to scroll on your phone on the forecast. I've seen a lot of people actually doing that. It's a bit cringe, but it kind of like forces you to do something about it, right? It forces you to get out of your comfort zone, do something, try to at least talk to some people, try to integrate yourself, and that's one way of getting out of your comfort zone. Being pushed outside your comfort zone by external factors will be beneficial, especially if you never intended to take that leap of faith. However, you are outsourcing a decision that you could have made yourself to someone else. Once again, taking the example of the relationship. So when someone approaches you, for example, I don't know if you're a girl or a guy, but if someone approaches you, you don't really have much choice into that, if that makes sense. Like, they have chosen you might like them, but it wasn't you taking the first step. It wasn't you taking the first leap of faith, right? It was the other person. And sometimes, especially nowadays, people are very comfortable in their relationships. They're very comfortable in what they do, so they just take the first thing. Especially if you're a single guy or a single girl, getting attention feels nice. Someone complimenting you feels nice. So you might end up in a relationship without you even wanting that relationship in the first place, right? And internal factors. So imagine now the same scenario. You're out with your friends, but you spontaneously decide to interact with strangers. Also, the fact that you yourself decided to step out of your comfort zone will not only empower you because you did so, but also increase your confidence. This is when you, for example, actually start taking intentional actions towards getting you out of your comfort zone, right? So you say, okay, I'm not a very sociable person. However, because I want to get out of my comfort zone, I want to start interacting with people, I want to network with them, I will get out of my comfort zone and I will do something about it. How would I do that? Well, I can go speak to them, I can go interact with them, I can go introduce myself. Although it might feel weird, it will only get easier. Like, even you watching this video, since I started explaining this whole idea of the comfort zone, etc., I feel more comfortable talking about it. I feel more comfortable being in front of the camera. So obviously if this could work in 20-ish minutes, I'm pretty sure that if you take some consistent, action throughout the day, then it will work for you as well. Cool. Also, as human beings, we are empowered when we have control over things, and this specific scenario isn't exempt from this. As I said, guys, the moment that you actually decide to do something and you actually do it, that's when you start giving yourself that power. That's when you start building that confidence, because you said you would do something and then you do it. And that's when a lot of people fail. They just say, oh, I'm going to start going to the gym, or I'm going to start being more confident, or I'm going to start just try to feel myself, or like put myself more out there, but they never actually do it. So you kind of disappoint yourself. You don't say it out loud, but deep down you feel disappointed at yourself. You feel like, I haven't done what I should have done, right? So just to wrap this up, guys, I'm just gonna leave you with one quote that hopefully will make you think and will make you take some action as well. So you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, drop us a subscribe if you enjoyed this. There's gonna be more to come, and I'll see you in the next one.